Greetings. First and foremost, congrats to all you Medillians, whether this is it or you have a summer ahead of you, as some of us do. Congrats. You've reached a new high point in your life, and for that, all of you guys deserve a round of applause. So. And now, if everyone who is not wearing a purple robe can please stand. Everyone who is not wearing a purple robe, please stand. It is because of you guys that we are here today, and without your help, your support from faculty, staff, family, coaches, friends, and everything in between, we're here. So let's give a shout out to everyone that came here today for us. Thank you. On behalf of the class of 2016, I just want to say thank you to those that nominated me and put me on this stage today. I'll forever be grateful for this moment. Take a moment to look around. We've all come from different walks of life from all over the world. One of the many reasons why this moment is so special. Just to touch on my personal walk of life, my parents were Ethiopian refugees who came here in the 80s with no money and no English. Ironically, they were refugees that landed in Chicago. Ironically, right? Today, they're sitting here today, and at that time, they never would have imagined their future daughter of immigrants to be standing on a stage like this. So, moral of the story, never say never. The sacrifices of all our parents, in my opinion, is one reason why failure is not an option. Thank you, Mom and Dad. Growing up, my mother always urged me, become a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer. Some of my classmates can relate. And then I discovered journalism. And before coming to Medill, I thought I knew what journalism was, but now I actually know. How many of us can raise our hands and say a source never got back? Or you had to own up to a factual error? Or you may have made a Medill F, or 2, or 3. This exact rejection is what prompted us to dig deeper and push through the adversity to get us here today. Because what happened every time you faced adversity and were rejected? A stronger outcome unfolded, and some way or another, you all made it work. Otherwise, you wouldn't be sitting here today. With rejection came perseverance, and we persevered. Many of us came to Chicago to be a voice for the voiceless, and we got to do that. Conversations here challenged me to think more about my identity as an Ethiopian-Eritrean-American Christian woman from Atlanta. With each identity trait comes privileges and or lack of privileges. I challenge you to examine yours, whether it be reporter-related or as a person, because trust me, they impact you and the way you see this world. Recently, I had the opportunity to speak to a predominantly Black elementary school on the South Side. One of the best experiences of my time here at Chicago. And it was their career day, and I spoke about being a journalist. One of the young girls raised her hand and asked, "Do you record all the shootings for the news?" At that moment, I took a step back and realized that it's our job to paint the entire picture. Because for some of the youth, what they see in the media and what is projected is the reality that they accept. And that's not fair, because the reality is much more larger than what they are seeing. So I challenge us to use our Medill-bred skills and hone in on capturing the entire reality so we can give the youth and the future more. As we officially join the Medill Mafia, we should aspire to be brave, caring humanitarians like Jim Foley, or to change the narrative like Mara Braca-Keel and combat negative stereotypes. I hope you cherish the friendships you made here, speaking of you Medill journalists. Wouldn't be here without you all. Coming to Chicago gave me more than a master's degree. It gave me lifelong friendships from across the globe. From my Chicagoan roomie, Erin, to my sisters from India, my Methods peeps, my NABJ fam, my video partners from Italy, MSJLC, and my Filipino biker buddy, these friendships truly made my experience, and I hope you hold on to the ones that help make yours. By embracing the role we play in the struggling world, we have the power to help it through our work. We carry the brush that can paint an entire mosaic to positively impact society. So let's continue to paint and expose stories of marginalized communities, unjust police brutality, booming small businesses, athletes overcoming long odds, political eruption, and every other story that you all covered. Every clip has a meaning. Let's never forget that. Everyone and everything has a story. One word, the difference one word can have in your message. The difference between victim and survivor. Every word, every edit, and every clip becomes so intentional. So be intentional and make every story worth it, because we, my friends, are no longer the future of journalism. We are journalism. To conclude, I wrote a short poem that reflects what life at Medill is all about. Ahem. Creeping on the third floor of Fisk Hall during methods to make those urgent beat-related calls, carrying around 4K cameras while covering protests in 2-degree weather, tough professors out here just trying to make us better. Remember your first story getting published in the content lab, then sharing it on Facebook and doing the dab? Meeting Medill best friends in the CTA line at orientation and sneaking booze in just to get you through registration? Speaking of the CTA, remember those times at Howard when the purple line met the red line at the perfect time and then everything was just fine? Or other days when you were just 2 seconds late and missed the blue line and thought, well, maybe it's a sign to slow down and be mindful of the closing doors, even when you're halfway across the world on Medill Explorers, and taking a trip to the motherland and visiting Johannesburg, and covering hard-hitting topics to make sure voices are heard. Never forget that oftentimes what you see is what you get, so explore the unknown, that way you'll never regret the holes in the gaps in portraying the truth. Speak freely and loudly like you did in your youth. Speaking of the youth, Mama Ariane and Papa Patrick being go-getting super parents, and other driven students here making it so apparent that in this crazy world, we can do it all. Even though at one point or another, all of us will fall. But that's life, and you gotta be ready for the highs and lows. Therefore, never let rejection turn into permanent blows. Instead, as you leave Medill, pen and notepad in hand, walk fearlessly and bold until you can no longer stand. Class of 2016, continue uphill, and never forget your purpose and your life at Medill. Thank you.